Yo, welcome to the Man-Cave. Drown they legends. WNBA news. We about to ring the bell. Leave Diggy, Coach Ed, we got the scoop. On and off the court, watch the power move. From the hardwood glory to the locker room chats. We cover it all, ain't no need for no stats. Sipping on knowledge, pouring out the truth. Supporting the queens who brings the fire, that's the proof. So sit back, turn it up, let the stories unfold. Here, WNBA, we bring the heat, the future's bold. In the Man-Cave where the legends collide. Leaf Diggy and Coach Ed got that East Coast pride. What? WNBA vibes, we breaking it down. From the game to the grind, let's wear that crown. Yeah. Stay tuned in, we keeping it real. The stories of strength and the heart that you feel. Dishing out knowledge like assist, we aim. In the Man-Cave where we elevating the game. So grab your seat, let the action ignite. Yeah, WNBA, we bring you the light. Keep it tight.
What's going on, everyone? We're back here, bringing you another episode 32 of WNBA She Got Game, with my brother Man-Cave and myself, Coach Ed, ready to talk about what's going on in the W. So really appreciate everyone tapping in. Going to get into it. Some things that's going on in the W that we see, but before I do that, Cave, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great down here in the A, man. 80-degree weather, man. I can't complain, man. You know, sunny and nice. Got been a little bit of rain and stuff like that, but not too much, you know. But yeah, man, it's good. And also getting back to talking about the WNBA and stuff like that, because as we all know, today is the deadline. So we're gonna see what's going to happen. So hey, I'm ready to talk about it. A lot's been going on in you know, with some of the females in there, so we'll get all into that today.
Exactly. So make sure you guys join the conversation, get into the comment section, let us know what you think, in terms of the W, in terms of women's basketball overall, because we're going to talk about, a lot going on. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already done so, sub up to Cave, as well as myself. The Aboriginal Sports Network, the Hardcore Sports Network, got all that information in the description. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you get notified too. So there's always new content going out. So hit that little button that says ding, 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 ding. Let you know that there's new stuff going out. Sharing all your social media platforms, man. We appreciate it. It gets us into the algorithm and helps us grow. So, but right now, let's really get into it. Like you were talking about before, there's a lot going on, deadline, so we're going to start right now. Both had sent some counter proposal, in terms of the negotiations. One felt one isn't as good as the other. But for me, the question is, with this counter proposal, is this a good sign that we're heading for them coming to a CBA agreement, or is this just a negotiation tactic? I mean, what's your thoughts, Cave?
I think it's a negotiation tactic, because I think when I was reading a little bit, I think they had a problem with it because they felt like something they agreed to, then it wasn't. And so now it's like, they feel like they're being deceived. And I'm like, man, you guys are at the finish line, man. It's like, what are y'all doing? This stuff should have all been hashed out, so. And then they're up against the deadline. So, hey, man, we'll see what happens. But, see, one thing when I see the players, they're not going for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they laid everything out, blah, 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 blah. This is what we want. This is how it goes. Hey, let's get this deal done, because this TV money is right here, right now. We got to strike while the iron is hot. We got all the momentum right now with the players that's in the league, with the other players coming in the league. Everybody's excited. Everybody, the WNBA, like I said, they're going to, league pass. They even got a league pass. So once you get a league pass, you're doing good. Money's making and stuff like that. So a strike would kill their momentum right now. This is the last thing that they want, because a strike is never, ever good, because a strike even hurts the major sports like baseball, basketball, and a league like this that's almost like kind of struggling. And now you finally get, you've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. You might as well keep going. Keep going. So can't stop now and got to keep going forward, man. So I hope they could come to an agreement and just give these players like the revenue sharing that they talking about and stuff like that, and just be done with
Mm-hmm.
it. As well as the housing, I think it's the housing thing too, stuff like that. Get that done and
Mm-hmm.
let's get it, man. Because hey, everybody want to see their teams play, man. Like I said, this is like we could say that women's sports is not, but there's a lot of people that follow women's sports, man, especially the WNBA. So hey, the unrivaled is just playing a championship and stuff like that, and they got the momentum. Keep it going.
Exactly. Exactly. You made some great points there.
I just put
And
my link
here,
in there.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I said just put my link in the chat. That's all.
Okay.
That's me. Yeah.
Here's what we're talking about. All right. And this is the gist of it when we're talking about the proposal. The union proposed that they're asking for an average of 26% of the gross revenue before expenses over the course of the CBA, and that would include 25% in the first year of the new year. And the league has said that number is unrealistic, and the league, their past few proposals, has offered more than 70% of the net revenue, with that number going up as the league continues to grow. So that's one of the things, like you were talking about, that they're arguing over. The players want the gross; they want 20%, 26% of the gross, while the league wants to give 70% of the net. Now, that could be a big deal,
Hmm.
and I understand, where, and the players are coming from being in the union. They're looking at, look, we contribute to the gross revenue being brought in. Yes, you have your expenses, but that's the price of the business that you're in. But you shouldn't penalize us, because basically you're saying to the players we should be paying for the business that the league is responsible for. So um I get it. I get where they're coming from. I mean, but when you look at those two proposals, I mean, which do you think is more beneficial overall for the league? And I got to be fair. I have to look at the full. It's not just about the players. It is about the owners in the league overall. Everybody wants to eat. So, but which proposal do you think the players asking for 20% of the gross, 26% of the gross, or the league saying we'll give you 70% of the net?
It's a slippery slope because guess what? It's the same thing like when you get paid. When you see your gross is, let's say it's like 4,800, but after the net and also you can only bring home like 2,600 or something. It's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I want to come off the top. And hey, the players know that stuff. It's like, like I said, for the players, I'm with the players. Come get it from the top. You know what I'm saying? So that way it can trickle down because when you get it from the gross or whatever is already cut down in half. Like, and you're just gonna get a little bit of that afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get it from the top when it comes down, and especially for the players who are not getting paid as much. It matters to them too. So that's what they're looking out for.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I see the league's point of what you call it. But at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, I mean, the league, if you're making like you're getting TV deals, you're getting money from the top. You're getting the concessions, the ticket sales, the things like that, and all that stuff. So, hey, the players want to get a cut, and they see what's going on. And like me and you, we on the outside, we could just think what they said. They on the inside, they know what's going on. They like, oh nah, man, there's more things to it like that they're not revealing. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going with the players. And like I said, while the iron is hot, you got to strike while the iron hot. The league is hot right now. Go because the league is going to get much money, a lot of money and stuff like that. Because if you don't get it now, and then if something start happening where the league is losing money and stuff like that, they're not gonna you're not gonna get back what you know what I'm saying, what you think is right, that you earn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm the player, I'm going for the growth thing and stuff like that. I know the league want to say what they want to say, but the league is going as they continue to grow, they're going to keep getting more and more and more money. Is going to be better for the league. So at some point, it'll all level out.
No, I'm with you. I mean, and that's standard practice. The league or any sports league, they want to benefit and get as much money, because yes, if you give them 70% of the net, that's less money, because yes, you're taking money out for your operating expenses, but the net, you're paying them less money overall as opposed to the gross. So now I wish I had the overall what they were making gross, so I could see basically, okay, now what is your net, what is your operating expenses, so this way you could look at the numbers and really see who's benefiting. But league is not going to do that because you know what? That would probably tell people how much money you're really trying to take away from the players in a sense. So I see where you're coming from. But yes, you were right earlier. It is a slippery slope. It really is. But that's the standard in contract negotiation. So yeah, we already just talked about this is the one. Now with the deadline today, what concerns do you have for the season? Will they be able to get the season off in time? Or do you think that, what, they're going to end up having to take away playing dates? Because that's the other thing, because you for those who don't know, with March Madness coming up, the women usually you go through the women's playoffs to get to the championship, and what happens? A few days later, you're going through the draft. So it's like, yo, what's going on? You need to be able to get this done. So, first of all, are you concerned that they're going to be able to get the season off?
Well, hey, we got some couple hours to find out. They better, because even Adam Silver said if they don't get the deal done today, it's gonna delay the season. So it's gonna push it back already a little bit later than they wanted to start it. So that's what say they gave this date as a date set in stone that they have to get the deal done. If not, it's gonna be delayed. But I think at some point I think they're gonna get it done by tonight, man. They'll get done in the wee hours. But like you said, in that proposal where they send the proposals back and forth, they need to meet face to face. You got to meet face to face and just hash it out and sign on the dotted line, which I want to do. So I think they're going to get done. And like I said, if they get it done, then the season will start on time like it's supposed to. But if it starts late and it's delayed, it could hurt the WNBA, man, to start late and stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes when you start late and something like that, you start losing some of your fans, like losing some fans early on, because they don't know if the season is like this. And it's like, I don't want no condensed season, a shortened season where it's like you just getting sloppies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so you don't want to get cheated up. But like I said, the WNBA, like I said, they have a golden opportunity to do what's right and just get off on the right foot. And I think they're gonna get it done by tonight, man. I would be surprised if they didn't.
That, bro, I'm hoping you're right, man. Because today is the date. It's a target date. And even in terms of it would take several weeks for the deal to be. That's the other thing, the ratification. So yeah, if you get the deal, you got to get it ratified. Then there's the expansion draft. We have to add all that in. That must be conducted as well as free agency, because you have all the players. There's a large percentage of the league that are free agents. So you got to get into contract signing, and then you have the draft, which is set for April 13th. So think about that. We literally have a little bit, just
a month.
Touch, a month, exactly. So it's like you have to get all that done. Like you said, yeah, it has to be done. So here it is. And even if a deal were to be agreed upon Tuesday, the league could still be looking at the expansion draft and free agency beginning in April, and then training camp at April 19th. So it's like, yo, you really, this isn't even the 11th hour. This is the 11th hour and 45 minutes left to get this done. So it's like, yeah. So I'm with you. I'm hoping that they can get it done. So, but, if they don't, does that mean we're going to see a strike? And like you said, I don't want to see no strike, man. I don't want to see a strike, man. I mean, I love the W too much to really go into that aspect. So, so it's a concern. I have to be honest. For me, it's a concern. I mean, do you have any level of concerns that there's the possibility of the strike? I mean, put it like this: on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned that you're, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest? How concerned are you that there's going to be a strike?
I would say if it don't get it done, I'll say about a 7 or 8. If it doesn't get done, because we have to understand this is like their first time really ever going through something like this. Other leagues are more established and they've been through before. MLB, basketball, on football. It's like, yo, this league is only about 30 years. To me, it kind of remind me of like the ABA. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you can't fall apart now. So hey, man, it's like you got to get it done because these guys don't. This is if it's, when it's your first time something ever happening, it could be catastrophic. They just put it that way because they don't know they in uncharted waters right now. So you don't want to do that. And like I said, while the iron is hot, you got to just go for it and just do it. Because if not, you go on strike. It's going to lead to some other things. Some players are not going to be playing. Some players going to go back to where they was playing. Some other players. It's not going to be great, man.
No, I'm with you, and you said it earlier perfectly. You got to worry about losing your fan base. I mean, because that's a big thing right there. You know, a strike will force fans to walk away, and you're already fighting for enough as it is.
Hmm.
Women's sports, you're fighting for every little things in reference to women's sport, the respect. So, and you're going to lose a lot of the fans, who are supporting you, and that's a big thing. So, yes, there's those true nuts like me who are a diehard who's going to rock with it. But again, there are the casuals. There are those who have just, with the influx of talent, with the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clarks and those players right there. Yeah, you're going to force those fans who are casuals to walk away because they're going to look at it like they're just like every other sport. They're money hungry and they're not about the fans. And in some
Hmm.
regard, I can understand that logic. I don't want to have to deal with that, but I do understand that logic. So I was looking for now. We heard about the issues with um, during this contract negotiation. One of the things that came up was the league tried to make it seem like there's a split between the union, but of course the union countered and said that it's strong. They're together. They're 100% together. Every player is there. They're supporting, even if you have to go out on a strike. They're there because they're fighting for not only what's right for them, but also for the future. Now, who do you think the fans are going to believe and should believe? Because that's two parts. Who do you think the fans should believe, and who do you think they are going to believe? So I'll start this out. And personally, I think the fans should believe the players. I really do. Because like you said earlier, they're fighting for something that's new. They have never gone through this in the past, but the players are fighting for like you said, housing, um, daycare, things of that nature. There's a certain percentage of the revenue because now there is a large influx of money. So you can understand where the players are coming from. And you know what? That's just like in any other negotiation. The workers are always trying to get equal and fair financial support from the business that they're working for. And that's why I think the fans should believe, and I do think most will follow and agree with the players because when you look at it, you're going to say logically, look, I see where the players are coming from, and the owners are just really trying to put money in their pocket. So, and I do get it from a business perspective. So please don't think if I'm trying to discredit the business. No, I'm not. But I've been on in a union. I understand that aspect. Yeah, I'm kind of partial to a union because I do understand the fights. I've been in those negotiations, so I kind of lean towards that. But I do understand where owners are coming from. It's just that what, sometimes y'all are just a little bit too money hungry, So, but what's your thoughts, Cave?
Yeah, I mean, as far as that, I mean, I agree with you. Like, more fans gonna believe the players because really and truly, the players are the one that you see all the time. They're the ones who's
Mm-hmm.
out. You hardly see the league or the president. What is her name? Kathy Engelberg.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even seen this lady since the WNBA draft. That was a year ago, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So out
Yeah.
of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, people gonna tend to like who are just same thing like social media. Whoever you see a lot on social media, that's what you're gonna listen to, and that's what you're gonna believe. Compared to
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's you never hear from, or you're like, where are they? You could just read things in online and Sports Center, but I mean ESPN, but it's like if you've not seen them on TV talking about it, what we're trying to do, and and sharing their plans and stuff, people are going to believe the players because the players are the one who's out there. Those are the ones they see out there every day, on the courts and stuff like that, and that's who they follow. So
Mm-hmm.
the WNBA, if you want to be you want to prove your point, you got to be more visible. You got to get out here and show, what I'm saying, talk, do your what is it called, press conferences, or say something, what I'm saying, to
Mm-hmm.
address what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. I would have expected that today on the deadline. I would have expected them to come out and say something, like have a news briefing or something, to keep
Mm-hmm.
people going, like
Mm-hmm.
what's going on and stuff like that. Where are they on the negotiations? Are we real close? Are we far apart? You got to let the fans know something, because we're just going by what we're hearing, from the players or whatever, or you seen on, social media. That's about it. I'm not hearing from the league itself, So, I mean, you're going to believe who you're going to see the most, what I'm saying? But the league, they're not doing a good job. If they trying to sell what they, about the players, the split in it, and then they're not selling a good job, because everybody see the players, they see them on the court, they see them in the games and stuff like that, So they're going to believe the players, and they're going to believe the league.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's interesting. Again, like I said, this whole labor situation, I can't lie. For me, it is concerning. Because I've been there, and I've seen. You start to see a little push, a little emphasis going in a positive direction, and we're about ready to get things done. But when you get to a situation like this, having gone through it before, I can't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. That is a concern for me, because it's like, we are at that last minute. We're at that 12th hour. We're, 15 minutes left in a sense. And if you don't get anything done, now, hopefully, I hope by the time we get off this screen and come 10, 11 o'clock tonight, bam, we get notification that, they've come to an agreement. And I'm going to be like, yes, yeah, maybe, my fear, my concern, put it into the atmosphere, knocked them all and said, let's get this all done. And because Coach Ed has, has concern,
Right.
but seriously, having been through negotiations and then eventually having to go out on strike, it's it's very similar to me in terms of what I'm seeing. That's why my concern, you said seven before, I'm going to be
Mhm.
honest with you. Mine is about maybe 8 and 75%. It's a 7
Close to 9.
percent. Yeah, I'm close to 9, man. Because, like I said, I've been there. I've been there and I've seen it, and it doesn't look good for me, and that's a concern. Because I love the W. We were talking ahead of time, before we came on. You know, next year will be 30 years, and when you think about it, they never had a strike, never. And it's like, this is the first in this time frame. So, in one regard, you want to commend the ladies of always getting business done, getting labor negotiations taken care of in a timely manner, and then you know what, being able to play ball. But this is the first time I've ever seen it get to this point. So, and that's why it's concerning for me. And my level of concern is much higher than Cave's. So, I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic. I didn't want to go into 9, but it's like every half an hour is like pushing it a little bit closer, because it's like, come on, ladies, get this done. I want to see, the Caitlin Clarks out there. I want to see Sab out there. I want to see my Liberty. I'm ready for the expansion draft. Who are we going to lose from our Liberty? Because now
Mhm.
we're going to lose 2 players, not just one, 2. So it's
Right.
like, I want to get that done. I want to go through that, and then I want to go through the draft. Um, wait a minute. I don't think the Liberty have a first round draft pick this year.
I don't remember. I don't think they do either, because they
You know
always,
what? No, go ahead. What were you saying?
because yeah, I don't remember them, their names in there. They usually trade the pick away for like some vet from the year before or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hold on.
or and their draft picks are not like like the NBA, where it's protected. So it's like you trade a pick. You know, it doesn't like
Yeah.
devalue depending on the years or something like that. It's like top four protected, top 2 or 3 protected. Is nothing like that. So you give. I don't think the
Yeah.
Liberties. If they don't, then they have a second round pick. I don't know what they probably traded last year or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
No, I got it
Because
right
I'm trying
here.
to see
Yeah,
who I'm trying to see who they get for.
no, I got the draft order right now. Here, I'll share it
Because
right now. Hold on a second.
I don't even think we had a first
Yeah,
round last year.
no, I don't believe we had one last year. So, share screen.
Maybe that
Here we
was
go. This is according to Tankathon. So, but the Liberty, their pick at number 11 in the first round.
goes to
Oh,
Washington.
that's right. We because there's more teams, so it's 15 now. So,
Yeah,
but
but I'm
yeah,
talking about our
it
trades
goes
picked
to
to Washington.
Washington. Yep. And there's no second round because that goes to Chicago.
It's in Chicago. Who was the
We only
Liberties
have number
trade?
41. We only have one draft pick. That's number 41.
You know, if you click on it, will it tell you why? Or I don't know if you click on like the Washington and New York,
Uh,
it's like they'll tell you like not
yeah, let me see. Uh,
trade.
Unprotected. Washington gets the better of Minnesota, New York, Connecticut will get the other. So, I forgot why. Yeah, this was Seattle was the Brittany Sykes trade. It doesn't. I'm trying to remember.
Mm. I'm trying to see who did we get to even trade make these trades.
Um, the New York number 26 goes to Chicago for the Rebecca Gardner trade. Number 11 goes to Washington unprotected. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember.
Let me see if I can pull up and see because I'm like
Past drafts.
number 11. I'm trying to see what.
Yeah, we didn't have the first one last year, like you said. We had one in 24.
Like
Yeah, we don't
this.
even have any of those players anymore, so they're all gone. Let me see. New York Liberty.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. 'Cause I'm like, when it's like, why they don't? It's like, who did we get?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Um, okay, Natasha Cloud. We got. I think that's what it is. Yeah, wait a minute. Here it is. The Liberty traded
Okay, yep.
to Natasha Cloud for the number 7 and 25, and the 26 their first round. So yeah, that's where it goes, and that's why it's all to oh, here. Let me switch this one.
Yeah, I think I said I'm looking right now. Yeah, I got a bunch about change on the first round pick to deal with shows on.
Yeah, I got it right here.
So it's like basically like 2 first round picks.
Yeah, we traded 2 first rounders for Natasha. So here it
Oh,
is. We
okay.
traded it to the Sun in exchange. Last year was the number 7, which is
Mm-hmm.
2025, and then this one is the 26. So it's for Natasha Cloud. So which you know what? I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. As a long time Nick fan, I'm like, yo, we
Yeah.
gotta stop trading. We gotta stop trading lottery picks.
Well, we
It gotta be
in
like
the
second
W.
round picks. I
Nah, they
know,
don't.
man.
The W, the lottery is smaller, so I think it's
Yeah,
like
all
top
of it.
five,
But you know
six.
what? Sometimes the first round pick don't even stick on the roster, which is crazy,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
that's crazy.
exactly. So, but again, look, we went off on a little tangent, but those are some of the things that I'm so excited for, and I don't want to lose that. And with what's going on, I need them to get this contract, the CBA taken care of. Come on, WNBA, please, please. I
Listen,
mean, you got all this great draft, these great players coming in right now. So
I'm gonna tell you what. Let me see who's a bad team this year, so we could trade them a player and get their first round pick. So we get Juju. He's
wait a minute, wait a
he's
minute.
got to trade with some bad team this year for their number one pick. They
So
want that
let me
2027 pick.
wait here. Let's take a look at this right here. Hold on. Right here. Okay, here we go. So you got
Mhm.
Dallas, Wait a minute. Minnesota has the number 10.
Yeah,
They
Minnesota got
loaded
from
up.
Chicago. Yeah, yo, from
Yeah, but
Chicago,
it's
Seattle
Dallas,
from.
Washington, Chicago are the
Let's see.
three really bad teams. Yeah, because
Washington
Golden
got two
State had
top.
it.
Yeah, Washington got three picks in this draft
Yep,
in the first round. They got three in the first round, and
yep.
Chicago has. Who's that? Seattle. One got two picks too. Dallas, Minnesota, Seattle,
Yes.
Washington.
Seattle has
Seattle's
two.
two first rounds.
Yeah, Washington has three. Chicago has
Yeah,
two.
some of those Chicago
Connecticut
picks.
has
I know
two.
Chicago picks is because of that. What you call it, trade for Cardoza stuff like that to get. I know because they had one of those picks. They try to get another one, so they trade a future.
But wasn't it also what's her name? Marina Mabry.
Yep, Marina Mabry. When
Yeah,
she got.
she got traded
Yep,
from Chicago to
Chicago
Connecticut.
to. Uh-huh. Yep, that's the pick, man.
Yeah, so I mean, because who would have known Connecticut wouldn't have been that good this year? So
Yo,
so
Washington got five of the top 30 picks. They have five picks in the top 30 this year. And they had like three rookies last year. And they traded
mm-hmm,
Aaliyah Edwards too. They got rid of Aaliyah Edwards. So
mm-hmm.
if I'm Washington, hey, this might not be the job. You might want to package some of them picks to get some more picks in next year's first round. That's what you might want to do. You already at the top, around the top. That number 4, trade the other one, number 9 or something else, and try to get like a future first next year from some team. And hey, man, you
Yeah,
might get the
if
number 1 pick.
let's take a look here at let me see because we have a mock draft. Let me close this out. I'm gonna pull up this mock
Mm.
draft here. Stop sharing.
Oh snap! I didn't even notice that Dallas with the first pick. You already know what that means, right? You know who they
Mm-hmm.
reuniting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, here
Yeah.
it is. The ESPN they said Fudd. You know they're projecting AZ Fudd, our fan. Yeah, the center from Spain. I spoke about her before.
Hmm.
Olivia Miles to Seattle. I
Olivia.
mean, fam, damn. I mean that's tough right there. You know, with that
Hmm.
lineup there, Miles to Seattle. Now Seattle has a new head coach, so and then
Ooh,
this is what's.
Lauren Betts,
But see, you don't forget you have what's her name down there too, and who's
Shakira
it?
Austin.
Yeah, so it's like
Oh, she'll move to forward. So they move to center. He's like at the center.
I do
They
like
gonna be
Vaje
nice.
with Chicago. I do like that thought there. Um,
Her and Angel back together again.
yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know too much about McMahon. I have to look her up.
Kobe man. Ole Miss.
Yeah, from Ole Miss.
6 foot.
Nell,
Yeah,
she's a French
France.
girl, so I know she's good. Ilyana Martin, I know I've heard about
Spain.
her. Yeah.
Foreign
Um,
invasions.
Keepens, I know she's good. She's good.
Evans at
So
UCLA. Medina
Okai,
Okai.
she's coming from South Carolina, and this ain't no more.
Mm.
Say no more there. And then this is who
Oh,
you know
scroll back
about
up
him.
again. Scroll back up a little bit. Yep, right there. Go back up a little bit. You see them girls. No. Down. Yeah, right there. You see them girls right there, the Dookies.
Yeah. But that's who they're saying Washington would get. This would have been the
Ashlyn
Liberty pick.
Jackson. Oh yeah, this would have been Liberty pick.
Yeah. so, so there you go. And then Connecticut Kiki
Kiki
Rice.
Rice.
Mm-hmm.
That's her
Tonight.
name. I keep forgetting Tanaya's name.
Mm-hmm. From TCU with Marta Suarez and then Gabrielle Jacquez. So UCLA's looking like UCLA is what possibly four players. One, two,
Oh yeah, the whole team, right?
yeah, two, three,
Yeah, yep. And four's coming
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Four's coming up right
What
here.
four? Yeah.
Yo,
So yeah,
they lose their whole starting five, right? They gonna lose their whole start.
but
That's
this is a
crazy.
mock by ESPN. So and I get it. I do see Aziz. Definitely I agree. makes a whole lot of
AZ
sense.
Fudd. AZ Fudd.
Yeah, so but yeah, man, this is why this contract needs to get done, man, because that's the stuff that I like talking about right there, man. That, mm, so I mean, look, you know what? We were just talking about it because that was something that we were going to talk about anyway. So, you know, out of those picks, that potential mock draft, who do you think would have the who do you think is the best player out of that draft going to the right situation? And I'll bring it back up so we can take a look at it again. So, but yeah, who do you
Hmm.
think? Again, do you think it's Fudd with going to the Wings or Fam going
Hmm.
to the Lynx? And what did they say? She's averaging 9.5, 4.7 rebounds in Spain. She's just 19
Hmm.
with a ton of potential. And what better coach to work with than the most experienced one in the NBA, Cheryl Reeves? Despite playing professionally overseas, Fam will have a learning curve in the W. It's uncertain if when Nispisha Collar, who had surgery in January, will be back to full strength. Perhaps a young post player such as Fam might get more time right away. Over with the Lynx, and they also have whatchamacallit, who's on Dorka, who's overseas too.
Hmm.
So she can come back too. So, but
Hmm.
is she would Fam if she goes there, would this be the right spot? Is it Olivia Miles with Seattle? Because we know what she can
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
Is it Lauren Betts in Washington? I mean,
Oh,
that
boy.
twin
Hey.
tower. You
I'm
know.
gonna say I'm gonna say this. I think the top five is good because, but Flaunger is definitely a guard that the Sky needs though. They need somebody
Mm-hmm.
like that to push the pace and things like that. And then she got that confidence, that swagger. Just like Angel Reese. Because I always said that the thing that's stopping the Sky is their backcourt. They need more backcourt. They need a point
Mm-hmm.
guard and a two guard. And if Flaunger, if she's gonna be the two guard or something like that, they're gonna need a point guard. Or if she's gonna be the point guard, but she's definitely the type of play they need in the backcourt. They need more of that because they got some dogs at the forward position with Reese and Cardosa, but
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
don't have that guard, and that's been their biggest problem. They don't have it ever since what's that Kennedy Carter's hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been there. It's just like they need a feisty point guard, man. They need a elite point guard. They had that. They'll be doing some things because that's what's holding them back is a floor general. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So, and let me see.
Yeah, one question. Do you think if Dallas trades that first pick, you think Paige Becker's gonna ask for to be traded? She gonna request a trade?
Look, business is business. That's your girl and stuff, and I get it. But you know what? I mean, it depends on what you're getting. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Yeah, if they be like, yo, we trained the first pick for Asia Wilson or something like that, but like, yeah,
oh,
she's
come
out of
on
here.
now,
He's like, you say,
Paige,
yo.
You better shut up. If you get if Asia Wilson, come on, man, come on,
Hmm.
man, nah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. So,
Nah, but
but
I mean, for Dallas, that works out. That works out for them because, hey, man, AZ Fudd, another backcourt for for
mm-hmm,
Page and stuff like that. They got some other players there too, so that'll work out for them, man. And like I said, Fam might be nice for them because hey, if Nafisa's gonna be out, because when Nafisa's out, Minnesota was still winning games,
mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
she's gonna learn. Her curve is gonna be like by the time they gonna be a duo because she's 6'4". And what's the other girl name that was it Jackson? I forgot the game that was like the center for
For
the
for
Lynx
the oh no, that's
because I know when
Smith,
Nafis was
the
out.
Australian girl,
Smith,
this
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Australian,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because when what's name was out, they was balling. Iman
Mm-hmm.
Perry, what's good? Salute, soldier. Thanks for tapping in.
What's up, Iman? Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, and especially if you get Dorka back over there,
Hmm.
it's like what that might be the right spot. But I mean, Olivia Miles, man. I mean, don't
For
forget
Seattle, right?
you have Skylar Diggins over there, so they can play well off of each other. You have
Mm.
NECA, so you have talent that would make them that much more dangerous too.
And don't forget they got that tall girl, right? That tall girl for that 6'5" or six.
Oh yeah,
She was young too.
the kid from, I mean, the what you call, who came over from
It was a
France.
French.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She was
yeah,
only
yeah.
like 19 or years
Yeah.
old or 20 years old. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man,
Exactly. And she's, look, I watched her in the Unrivaled the other day. She's getting her confidence, man.
she's getting that swag, right? She's
Yes,
getting that
she is. So,
swag.
she got a dunk off in that game, in the game too. So it's like, so look, all I gotta say is right now, they all might be in the right spot. Even Lauren
That's
Betts
why I'll say the
playing with
top five, right?
Flage. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. So, out of the top five, I'm with you. If they all went to these respective spots, I think it would be a good look for them. So,
Hmm.
but hey, we'll see what's happening, in reference to that. So, but yeah, let me get back into. I was just talking about the Unrivaled anyway. So, um, the season just ended, and let me find that article too. There was an article that said that the viewership was down in their rival. I think it said it was 9%,
Hmm.
from the previous year. So, is that a concern? What do you think is the reason for the reduction in viewership in the arrival? Because look, when they went to Philly, it's filled up that arena with 21,000, and went to Brooklyn for the
Hmm.
playoff game and filled it up at 18, 19,000. It's hard for me to understand how the viewership is down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts in reference to that? Oh, let me make sure.
You know what? I ain't even paying attention to that viewership. I think you know what I think it is. I think with all these games going to different channels and people streaming, I think that's what it is. People cutting off their regular cable going to streaming.
Mm,
That's all it is. That them numbers things is just like I don't think it's people still watching it just like that. But that's that direct TV dish network. People probably cutting it down to go streaming on Fire Stick and all that type of stuff.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
I ain't paying. People still, like you said, record breaking things like that with attendance. Nah, if it was like attendance was like a no show, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a concern. But
Here it is.
if they filling up the seats, nah, man, that's just what you call that's the Nielsen ratings or something like that. I ain't paying attention to them because it's still a hot what you call it. People when them people coming out to see it. They selling out arenas and stuff like that. So people's coming out to see it.
That's the thing that boggles my mind. So it's like the arenas are being filled up. So, but it's saying here the final game of the season where the Mist beat the Phantom. Um, it averaged 314 viewers across TNT and True TV, peaking at 335,000 between 9:45 and 10 p.m. Now, I will say this: that
Hmm.
might be a little concern because of the time frame.
Right. That's what I was gonna say too.
Because that was in the first quarter. So I can
Hmm.
understand that because you're playing it a little bit later, but the overall player viewership is down 9%. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I thought it was because it just seemed like everyone was there. So I'm with you. So
And on top of that, look, it's on TNT. Why you ain't put on a major network like ESPN or what you call it, or ABC or something like that? You put on TNT and True TV.
yeah,
So some people don't even go. They don't even go up their channels up to like TNT or True TV. They just stay around like the local channels and
and
ESPN. So it just depends where they put the game on. If you put on
I miss
ABC or huh?
I missed this. I didn't even realize the league had pointed to competing with college football playoffs, the NFL playoffs, and the Olympics, as
Yeah, that
viewership.
too.
I did not realize that. So okay, then that
Hmm.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Right,
Then why the
right.
viewership might be down because yeah, the going up against the playoffs, the NFL and college, that's going to affect you. I mean, we all know football is
Hmm.
king, and then the
Right,
Olympics. Yes, the Olympics this year, the Winter Olympics. A lot of people were watching that. So okay,
right.
then that makes sense now, and I understand why the viewership was down. So, um,
And you see why they was on TNT because they didn't
yeah,
put them on the major channel. They put the
yeah.
other ones on the major
Yeah.
channels. Right.
So yeah. So I mean that's where you know what, ladies, this contract needs to get taken care of. Because you
Hmm.
don't want to lose the flow that you got from last year with the talent being brought into the league and so on and so forth. So they definitely got to get it going, man. So we'll see what happens. But I like the Unrivaled. I was happy. Um, Here's one thing I want to ask you, okay? And here's a little teaser because Cave and I talked about having an all time greatest for the
Mm-hmm.
W. But I'm gonna start with a little question, and this will carry over into the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Is Stewie the greatest player, a greatest winning player? Because think about it. She has 4 college championships. She has 3 in the W. She has 2 internationally at the EuroLeague, and now she has an unrivaled.
Mm-hmm.
Could you make an argument that she is the greatest winning women's basketball player? Because
Yeah.
and look, we're gonna include the Cynthia Coopers, the Lisa Leslies. We're gonna include them all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, when I looked at that and they broke down her wins and her championships, I was like, I did not realize she was that much of a winner. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind for our next conversation. Mm. So there you have it. So one thing we're gonna talk about before we start to get ready to get out of here, 2 last subjects, but you know, Erika, she got in a little trouble the other day. She was arrested. Um, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity for the WNBA, and but I think it was one of those things like Arika was at a nightclub or something like the drinks was flowing, I guess, and you know how I go, man. Somebody a dude stepped to her or something like that, and what's she? They say she punched the dude, so I guess that's that's clout for the women, stuff like that. Like don't mess with the WNBA players or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
hey, it
Mm-hmm.
ain't your average, like, saying your average girls or something like that. It's like but then again, like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure it was some drinks. It was over some drinks. That's probably, what I'm saying, tipsy and stuff like that. Because if you're sober, things like that ain't gonna happen. So I'm pretty sure that's what happens though. So, and the good thing about it, nobody got too hurt and too bad and something. She just got arrested compared to like if somebody like glass or something was cut or somebody got injured, had to go to the hospital for some injuries.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with a little dust up band. But it happened like what 4 something in the morning. Is like, hey, nothing
Yeah.
happens. Nothing good happens around 4 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. As it says here, she punched a man in the face in a nightclub, and is being charged with misdemeanor battery. She was out celebrating. She won a championship with the Unrivaled. So, and I mean, the Wings are not merely saying anything; they're monitoring what happens. So, and where
Hmm.
is it? Here it is, right here. She punched a man with a closed fist, causing him to fall to the ground. So, I mean, hey, I'm with you. I'm like, all right, yeah, we got to talk about it. I really didn't want to talk about it, but it is something that's out there. And it's our
Just one thing I want to
responsibility.
ask you though.
Yeah,
Now she gets charged by the man, pressed by a charge. How much he gonna sue her for? It seems like he gonna sue for like 50,000, 30,000 for
yeah,
damages, punitive damages or
yeah. I
something.
could see that. So it's like look, she really stroked his ego in a sense because she punched you in the face and you fell down. So it's like look, you
Or
know,
did he flop? Did he flop to make it more dramatic?
who knows? I mean, they got the video cameras, the image, so we'll see it. So, but
Mhm.
um, look, I mean, hey, look, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. My cousin Munchie, love you. My cousin back in the day, Munchie is what was about 5'6", and she knocked out a
Mhm.
dude who was bigger than me. I mean, she knocked him out. She didn't just knock
Mm.
him to the ground. She knocked him out. She caught him. Caught
Night
him right.
night.
Yeah, he went night night. So, and my cousin was like that. So I learned a long time ago. I'm not thinking a woman can't knock out a man. I
You be
mean,
like, you gonna have to start fighting him like a dude, huh?
look, Layla Ali come up to me talking about, bro,
Mhm.
no, she probably would put me to sleep, because she's
Mhm.
skilled. So it's like, look, just because you're a woman doesn't mean she can't put a dude on his butt. Now, I mean, let's be real. So, and Erica, she's showing, she know how to handle hers. So, but last thing we're gonna do before we get ready to get up out of here, we're gonna talk about, it's that time, um, where we're getting to the qualifying for the World Cup, FIBA World Cup,
Mhm.
and I spoke. I have it on my what you call. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, here it is. All right, let me pull it up. I have it on from Twitter,
Mhm.
and this is the list of the players who are on the squad. You have Monique Billings, Paige Buchers, Ray Burrell, Caitlin Clark, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, De'Erica Hamby, Ryan Howard, Kiki Irfin, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, and Jackie Young. Yo, is that squad tough? Do you think that
Mm.
squad is tough? Do you think that some of the teams, can really compete with them? I mean, what's your thoughts?
That squad tough, man. I'm looking at that. Man, you got Reese. You got what's the names on there? It's like Kelsey Plum on there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the
De'Erica
other one?
Hamby, yeah, she
Yeah,
can play
Chelsea
down low.
Gray.
Ryan,
Kalia
yo,
Copper.
Ray Burrell, I'm loving her game. I've been watching her.
Uh huh. Yeah.
It's now. Look, I will say this: it's not. You don't have as much low post as I would have loved. I mean, Monique is good. De'Erica is good.
Mm, mm,
Kiki, Angel, they can handle the low post. So I'm not saying we don't have it. But we don't have our top dogs. You don't have,
Asia
Aja down there.
Wilson,
Yeah,
Aaliyah Boston.
Stewie, Aaliyah Boston. So, but this squad, do you think that it's enough there to compete with the rest of the teams for the FIBA World Cup?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, Angel Reese is a down low, man. I mean, people like sleep on her, but she's a low down there and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, you play international, so the international like it almost like a finesse type thing. Yeah, you might play them other teams that got some real big, tall players and stuff, but for the most part, like I said, in the U.S., they probably gonna play fast and stuff like that with Kelsey Plum and I'm pushing the pace, Kalia Copper and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll just take care of that. And then, like I said, you got Kiki Arafin
Mm-hmm.
and you know, Burrell and these other. What's the one on top? The first one on top. That's
Oh,
Monty. But
Monique Billingsley.
Money Billings. Okay, yeah, yeah. And then of course, like I said, Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin gonna pull people out to the perimeter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So hey,
Mm-hmm.
man, they gonna play loose, man. This is a nice little collection, man. Like I said, Kelsey Plum is a dog. So Chelsea Gray is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, man, they got the
It's
veteran leadership with the young guns and stuff like
exactly,
that. So
exactly.
hey,
With
they ready. They
Paige,
good.
yep. You got Paige, you got Caitlin, and Angel. Getting their feet wet. So I mean, you have good defensive players out there. You have good offensive players. You have some good low posts. So I mean, yes, I'm with you. You'll be able to space, move, and do a whole lot more. And again, this is for qualifying for the FIBA World Cup. So I think they're going to do what they need to do. So what's up, Leaf? What's up?
Yo, what's good, Leaf?
Bro, look, we know you've been doing your thing. You've been working. Welcome to the show anytime. I just don't
Uh,
know. It's been a minute, so you let me know. You ready to come back? Yo, anytime, brother.
mm,
You part of this show. I just
right.
know you've been doing your thing. You've been handling your business. So, and we got you
Uh,
covered.
we'll
So,
start putting. We start putting in what you call it
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah. I'm
chat.
gonna start putting it in the chat for him, or just send
Yeah,
it
and
to him
and
directly.
no, I mean that one. The one just for the WNBA with lots of Mitch,
Yeah,
and that's the one he's in, right?
yeah,
Okay, we got you, Leaf man. We got you, bro.
yeah, bro. I got you. I mean,
Yeah,
so I mean,
but yeah, man. The team is tough, man. Something
I'm
like an
like the eviction notice I probably least expect.
you like an eviction notice.
All right,
Oh
I got
man.
that one. So, but yeah,
Uh,
no. As far as this, yeah, I'm confident we're gonna do what we need to do to qualify for the World Cup, and put us in position. And then you know what, the World Cup will prep us for the Olympics. Let's be real. And when you get to the Olympics, guess who's really going? The big guns are really going to be coming out. I'm sorry to some of these players here, but
right, right.
let's be real. When you get to Stewie and Nafisha and Aja, come on, man, come on, man.
You're right.
So, but yeah, no, I think they'll do well. And
Yeah,
I
they're gonna
like
do
the
well.
fact you got the young players who are going to be getting their feet wet, and they're going to get a taste of the international competition, what it's like. And look, Angel Reese, she gonna be snatching them rebounds over everybody. I
Hmm.
know people talk about me bounds, and all this and that. Look,
Well, stop it.
look. Somebody talked about, her rebounds is her just throwing the ball up. No, that's her saying that rebound is mine. Hello, Dennis Rodman.
Hmm.
Dennis Rodman always said that rebound was his. Well, she's the same way. She's that dog when it comes to those rebounds. She knows when it goes up, she's gonna go get it, man. So, and shout out to her
Hmm.
brother, getting called up to the Wizards and making a play there. So the pictures of her, and
Hmm. Oh, you
so
gotta call it a hometown by the hometown team, huh?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, but I'm excited. I'm ready for it. So, I'll definitely be looking, and we'll be talking about that, as we get closer to it. So, but
Yo, I didn't even think about that, man. If she ever get traded to a hometown team, the Mystics.
oh my
You know,
gosh.
she from Be More Careful, right? From Be
Yeah.
More Careful.
Yeah. You think they ain't gonna come out in full
Yeah.
support, man? Could
Because
you
them players always want to go
imagine?
home. Them players always want to go home, man. At some point, they're always like, hey, I'll go home.
Could you hear her and Austin in the same lineup? Whew, man. Offensively,
Mm.
defensively, that would be nasty.
And they getting what's name back this year, right? Georgia Amore, because she was out last
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm. And if they do
Okay.
end up getting bets too, shoot, man, that would be nasty. Man, nasty, nasty. All
Nasty,
right,
nasty.
we about ready to get out of here. What you got going on for the rest of this week, man?
Rest of the week, got the what's called a game tomorrow, the Jazz game tomorrow, Knicks
Mm-hmm.
Jazz, and
Mm-hmm.
also the Knicks Pacers on Friday.
Mm.
And stuff like that. So I got some games coming up, man. And then, like I said, I see you. I think I'm gonna do that because they play the Hornets that night, so I don't think I'll do that game. But I want to do the draft with you guys and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely be up there for that, man. So I guess I'll pick one of those teams or something like that. Don't even matter, man.
Nah, I got you.
You
I
know what?
got you.
I'll go. I'll go. I think I'll go with the what's this? The Falcons. The Falcons? I'll go with the Saints. The early picks.
All right. All right. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll send you all the info and the
Yeah.
breakdown.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, for me, tune in tomorrow night. I got at I think 5:30 got the Pick and Roll podcast where we're going to be talking about the NBA. And then tomorrow night, me and NYG, we're going to be talking Heart of the City. A lot going on there.
Mm,
So later on this week, I'll be bringing back out, doing it for the R, my Rutgers coverage. There's a lot I'm going to be talking about, in terms of that. Shout out to the new head coach for the Rutgers women's team. So definitely going to be talking about that. So got a lot of other stuff, and um, working to finalize in with halftime. Two old farts that we're going to be talking about sports, life, love,
hold on,
and everything.
they got a new coach again.
Who, Rutgers?
Yeah, women's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basketball.
They fired Caquise last week, and then they brought in
Oh, that's right, Coquise Washington.
bro.
Coquise, well, I remember her
She's
when she played. Huh?
she's 42 and 84 of during her time at Rutgers.
Ooh,
This
yo,
year she was 9 and nah, man. She got won nine
no,
games and won one
oh,
Big Ten game this year.
Listen, I mean, hey, it was the same thing with me. I had a face-to-face talk with Carol Lawson because the way we started the season off, you know what I'm saying? I told her to shape up or ship out. And, she started shaping up. But Coquise, man, that was my girl back then when she played like Coquise Washington.
Look,
Oh,
man.
man, so they got a new coach. Okay.
My girl is transferring out too, so I'm just like
From hold up, don't talk about that. This stud.
Antonia Bates. She's transferring out. She got 1 year left, so I love
Okay.
Antonia. So, but I'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Okay.
Video, so yeah.
All right.
But that's gonna be it for tonight. Appreciate everyone for tapping in. Iman, Leaf in the chat, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button, sub up if you haven't already done so. If you're on Twitter, just hit the like button there, man. Let's put this out into the algorithm. We got more that we'll talk about going forward. So, but it's going to be it for tonight. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and make sure you tune in next week because we're going to have our WNBA memories from back in the all-time teams, the best players from the past, the best teams from the WNBA in the past. So, hey, man, come on back, man, share your memories and stuff like that and help us, relive those nice days from back in the day, the glory days from back in the days and stuff like that. Some iconic teams and iconic players.
Exactly. So, but with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate everyone for being here. Hopefully next week Leaf will be here, so I'm definitely gonna make sure to let him know. So, but
Leaf, you still there? Are you gonna be here next week?
Yeah.
Hold on, we still wait. We gotta wait till he make it.
Yeah. Let's see if he responds. So maybe he does. Look, if I can also get next shift, man. I mean,
right.
Get all four of us, that'll be even better. So, but he might have dropped off by now.
Yeah, he might. Yeah.
So, but we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everyone. Thank you. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Yo, welcome to the Man-Cave. Drown they legends. WNBA news. We about to ring the bell. Leave Diggy, Coach Ed, we got the scoop. On and off the court, watch the power move. Yeah. From the hardwood glory to the locker room chats. We cover it all, ain't no need for no stats. Sipping on knowledge, pouring out the truth. Supporting the queens who brings the fire, that's the proof. So sit back, turn it up, let the stories unfold. Yeah, WNBA, we bring the heat, the future's bold. In the Man-Cave where the legends collide. Leaf, Dicky, and Coach Ed got that East Coast pride. What? WNBA vibes, we breaking it down. From the game to the grind, let's wear that crown. Yeah. Stay tuned in, we keeping it real. The stories of strength and the heart that you feel. Hey. Dishing out knowledge like assists we aim. Whoa. In the Man-Cave where we elevating the game. Okay. So grab your seat, let the action ignite. Yeah. WNBA, we bring it to light. Keep it tight.